Round 21. In this round, I'm going to work with yarn color A, and I'm going to start with a standing single crochet stitch. So I'm going to make a slip knot on the hook. If you prefer, you can start with a slip stitch join into the 6th single crochet of any of the repeats. So let us count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So single crochet into the 6th stitch from this V shape, okay, here, and then 4 more single crochets, so 5 single crochets in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then please make a chain stitch. Do not skip any stitches in the previous round and work 10 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And if you want, you can use a stitch marker to mark the 6th single crochet. We will need to work in this stitch when we will be making the bridge, like we did here. Okay, so this will be the stitch into which you need to work. Let me just pull on the loop so I don't lose it. I don't have any stitch markers here. And then the next stitch will be the front post double crochet around this double crochet right here. So front post double crochet. Then do not skip any stitches in the previous round and work 5 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and now it's time to create the bridge, just like we did here, but this time we're going to work 11 chain stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Then turn, work into the 5th single crochet, make a slip stitch into the next single crochet. So we made 2 slip stitches, then make a chain stitch, turn, and work 11 single crochets into the chain. You can work around the chain or you can work into each stitch. I prefer to work into each stitch. Although it's not easy, I still prefer to do that. So 11 single crochets into the back loop of each chain stitch. And if you don't like that, you can just work around the chain. It will be still very pretty. I just like the flat look of it. So, and to finish this bridge, we're going to slip stitch into the last single crochet here on this side, and then work 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then a chain stitch. So actually here it's the end of the pattern repeat, and you continue working the second repeat with 5 single crochets, then a chain stitch, then 10 single crochets. Mark the 6th stitch if you want, so it's easy for you to find afterwards. So from the chain stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm gonna pull a loop like this, then 9 and 10. Front post double crochet around this double crochet right here. Then do not skip any stitches in the previous round. Work 5 single crochets into the next 5 stitches. Then chain 11. So 11. Then turn, work into the 5th single crochet, a slip stitch, then into the next single crochet, chain 1, turn, and work 11 single crochets into or around this chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. then slip stitch into the last single crochet on this round, and repeat this pattern again, 5 single crochets, chain 1, then 10 single crochets, and so on until the end of this round, and join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet of this round. Actually, you can slip stitch. Yeah, you can join with the slip stitch and then slip stitch to the chain 1, or you can cut the yarn, close with invisible stitch, and then join in the next round with a standing double crochet. So it's up to you. It's how neat you want your mandala to be. I prefer to cut yarn and join it, so I don't have any slip stitches on the front of this piece. Okay, so continue like this, and I'll see you again in round 22. Round 22. I will continue working this round with yarn color A, and I will start with a double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet into the same stitch, which is the chain right here. Okay, so find the chain stitch of any repeat and work a double crochet, then chain 3 and double crochet into the same stitch. Then work chain 1, and then starting with the second single crochet here on the bridge, work a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. So we're going to repeat double crochet, chain 1 9 times. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and the last double crochet and chain 1. Okay, so this is the repeat for this round. Next, we're going to work a double crochet, chain 3, and a double crochet into the next chain 1 space, which is right here. So double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the same stitch, then chain 1, and then we're gonna work 9 times double crochet, chain 1 into the stitches, into the single crochet stitches on this bridge. Skip the first stitch, work into the second, double crochet, chain, 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 double crochet, chain. So double crochet, chain, and the last double crochet and chain, and the second repeat is done. Then continue double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the next chain 1 space, and continue working this repeat all the way around this round. Join with a slip stitch into the first double crochet at the beginning of this round. If you're going to use a different color yarn, then join with invisible stitch. Round 23. Make a chain stitch if you're working with the same yarn, and make a single crochet into chain 3 space. Then work chain 1 and then back post double crochet around the first double crochet of the previous round, then chain 2, back post double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2. So repeat back post double crochet chain 2 8 times. So back post double crochet around each double crochet and chain 2 in between these back post double crochets. So chain 2, back post double crochet, so we worked back post double crochet, chain 2 8 times. Now one more back post double crochet and chain 1, and this is the pattern for this round. Let's do it one more time. Single crochet in chain 2 space, then chain 1, then back post double crochet and chain 2 8 times, back post double crochet, chain 2 8 times, back post double crochet, chain 2, and the last back post double crochet and chain 1, and the second repeat is done. Then you continue working, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, then chain 1, back post double crochet, chain 2 8 times, back post double crochet, chain 1, and like this. Please work all the way around this round. And if you're going to use the same yarn, join with a slip stitch, and if you're going to change the yarn, join with invisible stitch. Round 24. In this round, I'm going to work with yarn color A, and we're going to work only in back post double crochet stitches, and all the stitches will be back post double crochets. So we're going to start with the back post double crochet into the first back post double crochets of any repeat. So first back post double crochet, then chain 2, do this 3 times. So back post double crochet, chain 2, back post double crochet, chain 2, so 3 times. Then we're going to work back post double crochet, chain 3 2 times. So back post double crochet, chain 3, back post double crochet, chain 3. Then back post double crochet, chain 2 3 times, back post double crochet, chain 2, back post double crochet, chain 2, back post double crochet, chain 2. Now we're going to work a back post double crochet, chain 1 and chain 1, and this is the repeat pattern for this round. Let's do it again. We're going to skip the single crochet and we're going to work into the next back post double crochet. So back post double crochet, chain 2. We're going to do this 3 times. So back post double crochet, chain 2, back post double crochet, chain 2. Now back post double crochet, chain 3, repeat this twice, back post double crochet, chain 3, and now 3 times back post double crochet, chain 2. So 1, 2 and 3, and now back post double crochet, chain 1. Okay, so this is the pattern for this round. Please work it all the way around this round, and at the end of this round, join into the first back post double crochet with an invisible stitch. Round 25. This round will be worked with yarn color B. So I'm going to join with a standing puff stitch into any of the chain 2 space, the first chain 2 space of any of the repeats. So you see here we have this chain 1 and then the first chain 2 space. Work a puff stitch into this space. Then chain 2 and work puff stitch chain 2 3 times. So 1, then into the next chain 2 space, work the puff stitch, then chain 2 and repeat it again, puff stitch and chain 2. Then into the next stitch we're going to work a puff stitch, chain 2 and a puff stitch all into the same chain space. So puff stitch, then chain 2 and a puff stitch into the same chain space, then chain 3 and work an extended puff stitch into this back post double crochet. So we're going to work inside, okay, hook into the back post double crochet, work a puff stitch, and we are going to make it extended. We need to make it a little bit longer, so I'm going to yarn over, pull through all the loops and leave 2 loops on the hook, then yarn over, pull through 1 loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and this way this puff stitch is longer than all the other ones. Then chain 3 and work 2 puff stitches into the next chain space with 2 chain stitches in between. So puff stitch, chain 2, puff stitch into the same chain space, and then chain 2, puff stitch 3 times, chain 2, puff stitch into the next chain space, chain 2, puff stitch into the next chain space. So this is the pattern for this round. We're going to skip the next chain space, which is chain 1, and work a puff stitch, chain 2 3 times, puff stitch, chain 2 and a puff stitch, chain 2. Then work 2 puff stitches with a chain 2 in between into the next chain space, chain 2 and second puff stitch, then chain 3, puff stitch into the back post double crochet, and this will be the extended puff stitch. So again I'm going to pull through 1 loop and then through both loops, then chain 3, then 2 puff stitches into the next stitch with chain 2 in between, then chain 2, puff stitch 3 times, chain 2, puff stitch, and chain 2, puff stitch, the last puff stitch of this repeat. Okay, and continue like this all the way around this round, and join with a slip stitch or invisible stitch into the first puff stitch at the beginning of this round. In the next round we're going to work with the same color, so no need to do the invisible join, just work a slip stitch into the first puff stitch. Round 26. In this round I'm going to work with yarn color B, but I chose a slightly different shade of yellow. I will still call this color yarn color B. So we're going to start with the chain stitch. I already made the chain stitch, and work a single crochet into the first puff stitch, then single crochet into the chain space, then single crochet into the next puff stitch, single crochet into the next chain space, single crochet into the next puff stitch, single crochet into the next chain space. So like this we work until the chain 3 space. Okay, so single crochet into, single crochet into the next puff stitch, single crochet into the next chain space, single crochet into the next puff stitch. Now 2 single crochets into the chain 3 space, 3 single crochet increase into the extended puff stitch, 1, 2, and 3 single crochets into the same space, then 2 single crochets into the chain 3 space, and then single crochet into each space and stitch like this until this puff stitch. So the last puff stitch of this repeat and the last stitch, sorry, the last puff stitch of the previous repeat, and now the last stitch of this of the repeat pattern on this round is a single crochet in between these 2 puff stitches. Okay, so this is the pattern for this round. We're going to work single crochet into the puff stitch, then into the chain stitch, single into puff stitch, single into the chain stitch, chain space, then single crochet into the puff stitch, single crochet into the chain, single crochet into the puff stitch, single crochet into chain 2 space, single crochet into the puff stitch. Now chain 3, into the chain 3 we're gonna work 2 single crochets, then 3 single crochet increase into the extended puff stitch, then 2 single crochets into the next chain 3 space, and then single crochet into each stitch and each chain space until the last puff stitch of the repeat in the previous round, like this. So into the puff stitch and then a single crochet in between these 2 puff stitches, and then work into the next puff stitch, into next chain space, next puff stitch, next chain space, and like this. Please repeat this pattern all the way around this round and join with a slip stitch or invisible. So the last stitch in this round will be a single crochet in between these 2 puff stitches and then join into the first single crochet at the beginning of this round. In the next round we're going to work with yarn color A, so you can either, we're going to work over these stitches, so you can join with a slip stitch or with invisible stitch. It's really up to you. See you in the last round. Round 27, and this is the last round of this mandala design. I'm going to work it with yarn color A, and it will be a standing single crochet stitch. You can join with a slip stitch if you want. And then we're going to work the first single crochet into the first single crochet of any of the repeats in the previous round, and the first single crochet was made into the first puff stitch of the repeat 2 rounds below. Okay, so I'm going to work a single crochet, and right here I'm going to work a picot, which is chain 3, and then insert the hook into the front loop and the vertical loop of the single crochet at the base of the chain, slip stitch, and your picot is done. Now work 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, then a picot, and repeat this 3 or 4 times. Let me see how many times we can fit it here. 1, 2, 3 single crochets, picot, 1, 2, 3 single crochets, picot, and then 1 and 2 single crochets. Okay, so we repeat the pattern. 3 single crochets, picot 3 times, then 2 single crochets, and here we're going to work single crochet, then picot made with a chain stitch, made of 7 stitches, and then a single crochet into the same stitch. So single crochet into the second single crochet of this increase of 3 single crochets in the previous round. So single crochets, then chain 7, slip stitch into this single crochet at the base of the chain, and then single crochet into the same stitch. Then work 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches, picot, and then work 3 single crochets, picot, all the way until the next corner like this. Okay, so let's do it. So 1, 2, and 3 single crochets, picot, 3 single crochets, picot, 3 single crochets, picot, 3 single crochets, 1, 2, and 3, and you see the third single crochet goes into this the first puff stitch, into the first single crochet of the puff stitch. So that sits on the puff stitch. So technically your repeat starts with 1 single crochet and ends with 2 single crochets, and then you start the repeat again, 1 single crochet, picot, 3 single crochets, picot. So in the pattern I will just write starting from here, picot, 3 single crochets, picot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Okay, so next 3 single crochets, picot, 3 single crochets, picot, then 2 single crochets, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 single crochets, picot 7 times, then 2 single crochets, then work a single crochet into the second single crochet of this 3 single crochet increase, then chain 7, slip stitch into the last single crochet, single crochet into the same stitch, then 2 more single crochets, then picot, and then work the pattern 3 single crochets, picot 7 times, 3 single crochets, picot, and like this all the way around this round. So 1, 2, and 3 single crochets, picot, 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 one more time, 3 single crochets, picot, then 2 single crochets, then single crochet, picot 7, and 1 more single crochet into the same stitch, then 2 single crochets, picot, and like this continue all the way around this round. And to close this round, please use a tapestry needle and use the invisible stitch, because you want this part to be very, very neat and clean. And now our mandala is finished. Now you can block it, or you can simply fix it on a hoop. Please order the hoop or buy your hoop a couple of inches larger than your finished mandala. I really hope that you enjoyed this video tutorial, and if you did, please give it a like, please subscribe to my channel, please join our Facebook group, and happy crocheting!